It's Madden NFL 24. And coming up, we've got Daniel Jones. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Giants and the Eagles, and it comes your way next.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, it's January 7th, but we haven't seen you since New Year's Eve, so we have to say Happy New Year, one and all. And partner, Happy New Year to you. This is it, the conclusion of the 2023 season. Hard to believe, but we got a good one here between division rivals. And you like what the NFL's done here, making Week 18 all-division games.
I think it's one of the more inspired moves by the league because they've made these matchups really count. And typically they mean something, not a lot of coasting as people head towards the playoffs. But I do have to ask, January 7th, is it too late to say it? We're kind of right on the borderline, aren't we, about Happy New Year? Because that always seems to be the subject of debate.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. Flushed out right. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. The Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
Here's Hurts to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Philly. 48 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. The Eagles at 15-1 on the year. And they've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
They'll try it now with Swift, and he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll look to throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown with an amazing diving catch. And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Throwing Jones. He'll find Hodgins there complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. You look at this Eagle defense, currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, number 1 versus number 1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to play.
Jeez, you are fired up. Something's got to give. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Jones. Back to the same target, Campbell. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Okay, here we go.
Looking to throw. Jones. And that one complete to Hodgins. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Gano's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Wide receiver A.J. Brown. You see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, you're a former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Oh, poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. It's Deontay Banks with it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
A first down carry for Barkley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Barkley, and he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And out now come the Eagles. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident.
And now off to the races down the right side. He's on his way. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 8. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And New York set to take the field. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that, because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well, all right? If you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there to holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get 6s. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia, and trying to erase this deficit. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Okay, here we go.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. Jones. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones steps away to his left. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the Cowboys on top as they play the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Josh Downs, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Jonathan Mingo with a touchdown catch for from Bryce Young. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Jones now throwing to start the drive. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. That's Derek Barnett coming in and making the play. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Barkley, toss play left. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Fielded at the 43. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Hurts. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Leonard Williams able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And possession switching back to the New York Giants. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. He may go. Darren Waller, touchdown, Giants. Darren Waller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have come back to make it a 2-point game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Jones throwing for it. Goes right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Eagles. Quez Watkins, 74 yards. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Now that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. New York's offense back out there and set to go. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Jones. That ball caught by Campbell. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Off play action, Jones. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. Off the play fake. Jones. Slant pass hauled in by Campbell. And he's going to get this inside the 30. This duo locked in. 14 yards there and a first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. To Shepard, complete over the middle. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a...
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. To throw again on second down. Jones completes this again to Shepard. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Flush to his right. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Jones to throw on 3rd down. Touchdown! Darren Waller, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hurts sets up to throw it. And it is caught. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the fourth quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. These two teams, they met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they are looking for the sweep here at MetLife. Right back to Swift again on second down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. Here's Hurts to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Throwing his Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Could this be the drive that ultimately wins the game? How about the initiative he just took there? Running with it after he couldn't find a throwing lane, and he drove them into range for a game-winning field goal with that play. What an opportunity they've been presented to come through with the win.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way. Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that runs up fourth. Fourth down now defensively. Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. This to almost certainly win the football game. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you bump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
He'll look downfield for Waller. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he did not reel it in. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dime. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the first crack here in overtime goes to the New York Giants as we are back underway. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him, over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
At the 46-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship down the right sideline. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, this defense, Charles, we know how good they are, but they've been beat a couple of times in this game. However, they got the latest laugh.
And how about the way they hung in there? Because you're exactly right. They're not used to being dented as they've been so far in this game. But what they just did there with that pick six, that's the equivalent of what was happening to them. They're throwing touchdown passes against them. Okay, we'll take one back against you.
So it's the Eagles who get the win here. And the guy who really led the way was their quarterback, CD, and that's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he was just on target all afternoon with 3 touchdown passes. They couldn't find a way to stop him, and ultimately, he guided them to victory.
So for Philadelphia, they finish oh so close to perfection in the regular season, but this win in the final weekend gives them a final mark of 16-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the loss could be an impactful one as they'll finish at 11-6 on the year. And it's going to be wait-and-see time as they figure out their status for the upcoming playoffs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.